Peace and blessings. Vibe Tribe is on once again. Lifestyle hacks with yours truly, Bockarie Jombor. And although you may not see her face alongside of me, we send our love. My wife, Amani Jombor, my queen, the woman of my dreams, and all that's in between. Nah, I mean, that's what I say to my wife. Hopefully, your week has been going well. I'm definitely excited about the message on today, as I always am when I come on here. I'm always excited about sharing information that is going to help to transform your life. That's going to take you to another level, for the betterment. That's going to take you to higher heights, and that's going to help you to live your best life while you are here on this planet called Earth. Oh man, so excited about it. We're here today. We're going to talk about free thinking. Yes, yeah, we get ready to get it in. We are getting ready to get it in, family. That's right. We get ready to talk about what I love to talk about is dealing with the mind. Okay, we live the way we think. It's all about your perception. Your perception is your reality. Peace and blessings to my beautiful queen, Amani Amari. Thank you so much for your continued love and support, beautiful. I appreciate you. Alongside of every great man is a great woman. All right, let's go. Let's get it. Okay, so again, the title is Free Thinkers. Okay, Free Thinkers. And so when you think about free, you think about someone that's not bound. When somebody is released from prison, they say you're free to go. Okay, meaning that they're no longer under restriction anymore. They're at liberty now. They can move about now. They don't have any restraints anymore, right? And so, in order for our minds to be free, we have to get rid of the chains that is binding us mentally. Okay, now some people think that they're free. It's an illusion. There's some chains that some people can't even see that's actually there, but they've been programmed to think that, oh yeah, I'm free, I'm delivered. But the truth of the matter is that it's man's opinion that's actually governing their lives. I've been that guy before too. I was under the persuasion of particular teachings that had me bound up. Okay, that came with a backing of fear of a place of torment and torture. If you don't follow after uh, their system of belief, okay, you're going to be punished forever. Okay, and so you're not encouraged to use your mind, because when you use your mind, um, they're taught you're leaning to your own understanding. And you have to acknowledge this higher power in all of your ways. You understand? And so that does not give you the liberty. Then that means you can't be a free thinker then. Because now you're not at liberty to use your own intellect, okay, for you to reason and to be logical about things. And this is the reason why so many people are deceived. It's because they have been taught into a position where they're closed-minded. They've been taught in a position where it's always what this higher power has told another human being to tell them. Okay. And then they're taught, no, don't question that, because when you question that, you're questioning the supreme creator that created all things. Okay. In the universe, in the planets, in these worlds, right? You're questioning this higher power, which means that you're not You're welcome, beautiful. That means that you're not free to think for yourself. You got to always consult this higher power. Listen, when you were created with intellect. When my son, and my son, he'll be 24 in May. And when my son was an adolescent, my son would sit there and he would think. Now, listen, I didn't teach my son. My son would sit there and literally use his own intellect and reason to get something. Who has children, or you have nieces and nephews, little cousins, or you just seen a child do something with their own reasoning? Nobody taught them how to get that. They just use their own intellect in their adolescent years to figure out a way for them to be able to obtain what they're wanting. Now think about that. Think about that. An adolescent has enough intelligence to reason within his or herself to be able to figure out a way for them to be able to obtain what they want. And these are adolescents. So you know what that leads me to believe? That the Creator created us to be able to think, to be able to reason, to be able to use logic. How many of you ever watched National Geographics or the wildlife? How many of you ever watched the animal sit there and reason and figure out how to capture his prey? Who taught the lion how to hunt? Who taught the lion how to hunt? Who taught the lion, well, if I hide here, then it won't be able to see me, and then I'll be able to get up on it, and then I'll be able to get the prey? Who taught the lion that? Who taught the bird how to fly? Who taught the mama bird that if I go get the worm and I feed my baby birds, then they'll live? Who taught the birds that if I just execute my babies or my cubs, my baby birds or my cubs, the lions, the tigers, the bears, okay, my cubs, they'll follow suit, and then they'll learn by just watching me? Who taught the animals that? There was no human being that taught the animals that. It's something that's just naturally inside of this being. Hyunda, thank you so much for tuning in. I greatly appreciate that. Okay, so now what you have is proof that we have been created to use our minds. And we have been created with a mind to be able to think. That's what the brain is for. Okay? That's the function of it. And as I stated last time, because this is a continuation of one of the other videos that has a different title, but it will encompass some of the other information that I touched on, in this message, because it goes into alignment with it. All right. Now, if it's wrong to use your brain, and you're going to be punished for that, then that means that you're going to be punished for using your eyes, for using your ears, for using your nose, your tongue, your teeth, all your human extremities. That means that you're going to be punished forever then, if that be the case. Now, this is the reason why I say we have to be free thinkers, because how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense that it's wrong for you to use your mind when it was created to be used to think, to reason. I would like to think that if this supreme creator didn't want us to use our intellect, then we would have never had the organ called the brain for us to be able to think, right? And see, so what happens is we've been taught not to actually use our mind, but just to believe everything that we've heard. And we've been taught just to trust in our elders and just believe everything that they say, because whatever they say, it's just the gospel, if you will. That's just what it is. We've been taught, don't question anything. Just go after what I say and everything's going to be okay. No, 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 no. No. And this is the reason why I say that individuals end up being a part of cults, okay? And they end up putting themselves in a situation where they end up harming themselves, okay, because they're not thinking for themselves. They're not reasoning within themselves. And some people are being persuaded by lying individuals, okay, who put on this facade that there's something that they're not. And people are being caught up in the web because they're not free thinkers, okay? And what I like to use is always like that wacko down in Waco, Texas, and so many other individuals that get into these manipulating positions, and they manipulate people in the church and within spirituality. Okay, they manipulate their minds into thinking that without me, you're nothing. Without me, you won't be able to make it. Without me, you won't be blessed. Without me, you'll be cursed. Okay? And so people are just taught to just believe whatever they hear, and they've been programmed to say, well, Bishop said, well, Pastor said, well, Master Teacher said this. And unfortunately, people have been blinded by lies, okay? Falsehoods, which has unfortunately incarcerated us mentally. We've been taught, as African people as well, okay? And this is an all-inclusive ministry here, okay? And it would be remiss of me not to address these issues as well, okay? I'm unapologetically spiritual. Additionally, I'm unapologetically African. And that's just what it is, okay? I'm not apologizing at all, okay? Because this is just the reality that we have been taught into this mindset that we're not intelligent enough, okay? We lack confidence because we don't know our accomplishments. You understand? So therefore, we've been taught into this mindset, so we have to be taught out of this mindset. So what can help us get out of this mindset? It's actually knowing the truth about inventions that we invented, beyond the street light, okay, beyond a peanut, making machine, and okay, beyond the ironing board, and beyond those type of things like that, the gas mask, and the super soaker, and beyond the pyramids. You understand? So we have to know these things. We have to be aware of these things in order for us to be able to believe in ourselves, right? And so a lot of times, all right, we don't have the confidence because we don't know our accomplishments. And this is the reason why those type of teachings are being forbidden. Okay, so we won't have the knowledge of self. Okay. And therefore, that's the reason why information, beloved, I don't care what your ethnicity is, this is not restricted to African people. I'm talking about humanity overall, okay? Because religion, okay, even though Christianity as we know it today, okay, may not have been taught by Africans in that mannerism, okay? Because when you look at the text, when you look at the wording, you know that it's Greek, apostle, bishop, okay, evangelist, deacon. I'll challenge anybody on this. Look up those words linguistically. You'll see it has a Greek root. Okay, those words come from the Greek language. All right. So it don't matter to me, even if you are, Caucasian and your people did, create it. It doesn't matter. That doesn't mean that it's good for you. Just like there's some things in our culture, that are taught that it's not good for us. Like, for instance, we're taught that it's okay to use the N word. No, 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 no. No, you can't make the N word an impressionable, word. You can't make that a name of endearment. Just like if you call a female, a female dog. Now listen, we're talking about free thinking, right? So if a female calls herself a female dog, unbeknownst to her, what she has done is she has degraded herself. And now, when you take those names and you embrace those labels, now what you have done you have accepted degradation. And you have embraced it. And unbeknownst you, see, this is the reason why if an African person that's in their right mind speaks intellectually and carry his or herself in an intellectual way, this is the reason why we're looked at as weird. Because we have been programmed to think that that's conduct unbecoming of an African. Remember, free thinking. So we have to get liberated in our minds because we can no longer embrace these untruths. I don't care how long somebody been a master teacher or teaching spirit. It don't matter. What's incorrect is incorrect. If it's error, it's error. Because you have a lot of people saying, oh, well, that's the word for Nagas. No, it's not. No, it's not. Nagus is a Cushite word or Ethiopian word which stands for king. Okay? Let's be clear. What we were called, because listen, you think that the ones who enslaved us didn't know, who's the king and who's the queen? You think they didn't know that? They're very positioning in their huts, in their where they lived at, their dwelling places, and their garments gave that away. And then they had individuals of our culture, because how are they going to know the language? How is they going to know how to communicate with us and talk with us? So they actually had insiders, help them to put us into slavery. So what am I saying to you? I'm saying to you, that linguistically, that is incorrect. That word is not a name of endearment, the word that we know today. It's negas, Negus. Now, if they're not calling you negas, then that's not a name to be embraced. It's not a badge of honor. And this is the reason why we're talking about free thinking, because, see, understand, freedom of speech. So I'm going to readdress the freedom of speech. And I'm going to turn it into this spectrum here. Speaking words of freedom to the listener. We have to have freedom of speech in this instance. And first, your mind has to be free to be able to speak freedom speech. Right? Liberation. If it does not take you away from your lower nature to teaching, then guess what? It is not liberating you. If you cannot see yourself, your spiritual man, in those teachings, then it's not liberating you. You cannot hide these lower dimensional teachings and try to, coat it with African spirituality, because it's not. It's not. If it does not deal with your spirit and helping you to evolve in your consciousness, to connect you divinely with the one who created you without the mediator of a human being, then that is not true spiritual teaching. Understand this very clearly for those of my ethnic group. If it doesn't take you beyond your ethnicity, that is not liberating teaching. Because our spirituality, like Ifa, okay, teaches you about the knowledge of self. Okay, it don't teach you that you're Mende, that you're Yoruba, that you're a Khan, that you are Zulu, that you're Ewe, Asante, Fanti, etc. Spirituality don't teach you that. Spirituality teaches you about your spirit to correct your spirit and to set you free consciously so that where you can evolve and have a divine connection with your creator, with your spirit, with your destiny. Why are you here? Your life path, who you are outside of what you see in the mirror of your flesh. Spirituality literally means that it takes off the cloak of your flesh as a human being, and you have to get down on the inside of you. And if it's not dealing with the inside, then that's not true spiritual teaching. If it doesn't help you to evolve in your mind, I'm talking about you going to higher heights consciously. Your higher self is your higher consciousness, your spiritual being. It's time to truly tap in to our spirituality. It's not rooted in religion, it's rooted in relationship. And guess what? Spirituality supersedes these man-made teachings and doctrines. You have to understand a lot of these things are actually pre-K teaching. When you truly evolve, you start just living your life according to how you're supposed to live your life, and you start walking your path, and you begin to recognize I have a divine purpose in this earth, and I have to accomplish my mission while I'm here. That's when we truly start evolving. Peace and blessings to my good sister, Myla Renee. Thank you so much for tuning in. Asheo. And as a matter of fact, I want to give you some evidence because I love literature, and I'm gonna take you to a prayer in E5. See, this is the book right here. I Hear Olofi Song, a collection of Yoruba spiritual. Look at that, spiritual. Spiritual, it says. See? A collection of spiritual prayers for Ogun, which is the ancestors, and Orisha. Okay? Now, I'm going to read this prayer to you, and I want you to pay attention. Now, I'm going to show you how we deal with self with our spirituality and how it deals with you internally. Now this is a prayer saying to Olofi. Olofi, bring coolness over our heads, our minds, our bodies, and this domain in which we stand. I'll read a couple of them to you. May the coolness and clarity of water bring us into alignment with our purpose. We pray to bring our choices to light, the ones we cannot see and the ones we can. We pray in truth, love, and light, asking for the highest and greatest to unfold. May I have the foresight and the divine intelligence of your Ashe manifest in the transformative element to truly see the duality of every situation. May I not judge, criticize, but honor you by realizing that there are various perspectives. I pray you always allow me to be open-minded and open-hearted, light-hearted, immersed in the light of joy and happiness. This is a prayer to Baba Batala. Baba Batala, I pray that I become patient, patient with myself, patient with others. Let me be patient with the growth of my consciousness and subconscious mind. Let them come together to help me witness the fullness of who I really am. A person of peace, tranquility, understanding, and grace. Help me even when I see it's hard to realize. just want to prove some things to you and show you how our spirituality actually works. And first of all, the spirit isn't really concerned about, your flesh. Okay, now it says, this is a prayer to prosper and to grow. All right, this is the spiritual book. Again, I hear a Lofe song. You can order this on Amazon. Okay, and this will help you to evolve. It will help you to see yourself. Okay, check it out. I'm getting ready to close it right after this. Orisha Oku, plant seeds in me so that I may grow and prosper. Orisha Oko, please plant a seed in me in my growth, my development, so I may move beyond my current reality. This is a prayer now. I am planting a seed in a new idea. I am planting a seed in those things I desire to flourish. I am planting a seed and putting forth the energy of nourishing it. Now, see, faith without works is dead. See, and this is where we have to understand that just because it may not be worded the same doesn't mean it doesn't mean the same thing. Just like faith and belief are two different words, but those words mean the same thing. Let me carry on. And see, this is the reason why people got to be careful with their mouths about speaking ill on our spirituality, because this is the reason why I know they don't know what they're talking about. It says, I am planting a seed and putting forth the energy of nourishing it. Isn't there a verse that says you reap what you sow? Isn't there a parable talking about a seed being planted? I am nourishing my spirit by taking care of me, by having balance in my life, by making conscious choices. I am planting a seed and being patient in how it manifests. I am planting a seed in my self-worth. I am planting a seed to have an increase, to flourish, and it all manifests through me as a divine child of the Creator. Now, what you're seeing right here and what you're hearing is prayers that I prayed in private that I've read to you publicly. We have to uncloak the lies. It's time for our minds to be set free. It's time for us to be liberated. Okay? You can't teach your children about Santa Claus and all these lies and then turn around and talk about you of people that follow after truth. We gonna get it in. Okay? Have you even studied about Easter? Did you ever study Easter? Did you ever check the background of Easter? Did you ever look up the historicity of Easter? Why they paint the eggs, the goddess of fertility, but yet you'll condemn a person like me who don't even practice those things. Oh, and for the record, we don't do idol worship. We don't worship idols. Okay. All right. And so where does it say in the script that Yeshua was born on the 25th? Where? Where do it say that? Where, in fact, when does a bunny, do you understand that a bunny doesn't lay eggs? Now, see, this is what I mean. See, free thinkers. See, how is this liberating you when you're teaching your children that a bunny lays eggs and it births bunnies? Rabbits birth bunnies just like human beings Okay, even though a woman may have an egg, the egg is fertilized and then she births a child. So riddle me this. How then are these teachings liberating when they're teaching you lies? You got grown folk out here teaching their children that a rabbit lays eggs. When it don't lay eggs, it actually births other bunnies. And these are practices that you're following after, that you rebuke and say, oh, Satan the Lord rebuke you. And you talk about demonic activity and you talk about paganism, not even recognizing that you're actually practicing paganism. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Christmas don't have nothing to do with Christ. I don't care if the root word in it is Christmas. The anointed one's mass, because Christ is a Greek word, which is the anointed one. It's actually a Greek word. Okay. Now in the Hebrew, it's Mashiach, which means the anointed one. And you break it down linguistically, mass is the anointed one mass. Now, again, we have to be free in our minds. And the truth has to be taught. And we can no longer hide behind, oh, I'm just trying to be a person of peace. Oh, we told to stay away from politics and religion. Listen, one lesson I've learned is nobody can ever be set free without war. When somebody is in prison, okay, no one can be set free mentally without war, because it's spiritual warfare. It's mental warfare that we're dealing with in society today. And the person, the manipulator, knows that as long as I can control their mind, then I can control them. As long as I keep them believing that they have to beg for whatever they want, they have to pray and they have to stay on their knees and keep calling on this mythological person that's supposed to come out of the sky and save them, I will keep them from actually walking in their true divine power, because you already have the power. You already endowed with the power from among high. When you had the breath of life breathed into you while you were yet in your mother's womb, you already had been endowed with power. You already been created with power. You already been given the power. You're asking for power, you're looking for power, but you already have the power. You just have to walk in your authority. People are bound and they don't even know that they're bound, because they've been taught to just keep relying on this higher power for everything. Hear me clearly. I'm not saying Alafiyah Baba. Madupe for tuning in. We have the power. So this is what I wanted to clear up today, so we can be free thinkers. Listen, you have to get delivered, and even when it comes to uh certain teachers, even within our culture, within tradition, we still have been taught into bondage even with those things. Okay? Because even amongst our culture, our child and our children don't think for themselves. We decide who they marry. So is that really freedom? Is that freedom? Is that freedom when our child and our children don't have a choice who they marry? We tell them who they're going to marry. Pardon me, please. And we get mad and we get upset with an African man or woman that says that, say, oh, you've been westernized. Have I really? So being a person that thinks freely, I've been westernized now? So now when I think for myself now, you call that westernized thinking. See, they don't recognize that they're in prison because they've been raised that way. Whenever somebody takes away your freedom to think for yourself, to speak for yourself, to do for yourself, okay, that is incarceration. That is not freedom. I'm not biased. I cut it all down. If it keeps you depending on a source outside of yourself all the time, okay, then that is bondage. Okay? We do need some super on our natural. Listen, I've had some divine intervention that has happened in my life. So I'm not saying that we don't need the assistance of the divine. I'll be a fool to say that when I know in my life that there's situations that I was in, like the times I almost got shot twice at point blank range. Okay. Like the times when I was in combat. For those who don't know, I'm a retired United States Marine Corps veteran. I went to Iraq a total of 3 times. My first tour, I almost got blown up 3 times. So when I was in the street, I almost got shot up twice point blank range, set up at a barbershop. I was in car accidents. A vehicle ran me over more than one time. Okay. So I'll be a fool not to believe in divine intervention. So I don't want you to misconstrue what I'm saying. What I'm saying to you is that the divine has given you power to do things for yourself that you're asking this power to help you to do when you have the ability to do it yourself. This is what I'm saying to you. And that's the reason why it's bondage. You're praying for something to happen that you actually have the power to make happen for yourself. Now, listen, can you make the rain come out the sky? Some people will tell you that there's spells and stuff that they can do to do that and what have you. Okay, for the sake of argument, you know what I'm saying? You don't bring the sun out. You don't bring the moon out. Okay, there are certain things that you don't have the power to do. Okay, you didn't create the earth and make the earth fertile, right? Right. You know what I'm saying? So you need, okay, the divine in that arena. You need the rain. You need the sun. If you're dealing with agriculture, okay, you need that. That's out of your power. You can't make the sun go up, the sun go down. Okay, you can't make it shine on, your crops and all those things like that, right? That's understandable. Okay, but to create and transfer wealth for your family is something that you have the ability to do, not to say you won't have some super put on your natural. Yes, the divine will bless you and assist you, but the truth is the divine helps those who help themselves. And you can pray all day long, but you have to get up and do something yourself. Okay? I forever say this all the time. If you don't sow any seed, then you cannot reap a harvest. If you don't put in a job application, then you won't get a job. There's things that you have to do to manifest things in your life. Okay? We're waiting for this entity to come out of the sky to set us free from our enemy. I'm so grateful for leaders like Shaka Zulu and Thomas Sankara and Toussaint Louverture. Okay, and guess what? As spiritual as the Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King was, he still fought, even though he didn't pick up a gun, okay, even though he didn't have a tank, even though he didn't have a helicopter. That man was a praying man, but he also believed in taking action, and the reaction was, we got civil rights. I'm going to say it again. The Honorable Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a spiritual man, but he didn't just pray, he took action. And the reaction was, we got civil rights. So what I'm saying to you is, it's time for you to get broken free out of thinking that this higher power is going to do everything for you when you have to do it yourself. You have to resist temptation. What you praying about? Oh, Lord, help me to not. No. You have to resist temptation. You have to discipline yourself. And if you don't restrain yourself, then you're going to reap the consequences of you not disciplining yourself and restraining yourself from saying and doing what it is that's going to have a negative impact on your life. How can you pray over food that you know that's killing you? Do you think the prayer is going to purify it? That's like praying over poison before you drink it. You know it's going to cause you to have high cholesterol and diabetes and have a heart attack and have cancer. This is the things that that's what I'm saying. See, religion keeps you from using your common sense. Oh, it's purified. No. You know what you just ate and what you put in. You knew what you was eating before you ate it. You knew what you was drinking before you drank it. You drinking all these drinks with high fructose corn syrup in it and all this stuff that just blowing you up. But you just keep praying, oh Lord, bless this food. Really? You praying that the universe, that the divine bless food that's bad for you. Come on now. Come on now. Come on. This liberating teaching here. This not comfortable teaching. This sets you free teaching. I'm not here to make you feel comfortable. I'm not here to put you on a soft pillow. I'm here for you to grow. And you're not going to grow by me telling you what you want to hear. You're only going to grow by hearing what you need to hear. You got to hear what you need to hear. And although I may not be a religious person, some folk, they just have those itching ears. They just want to hear what they, want to hear, rather than what's necessary for your spiritual growth and your personal development in the natural and in the spiritual realm. See, again, balance. All right, thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, I do these programs every Sunday and Thursday at 6 o'clock p.m. Central Standard Time. And I thank you all for tuning in. Please share with those who have a like mind. And again, today's topic was free thinker. Okay, if you have a topic that you would like for me to discuss, or you have a topic that you would like to come on and even we can do together, there goes the information right there. Of course, I'm going to vet you, okay, before you come on the program. All right, and we have to do a virtual interview, okay, with cameras on, okay, before you actually come on this program here. Okay, we got to make sure that we have people in the right spirit on this platform. Okay, and also I want to leave you with this here. Okay, being a peacemaker and spreading love and peace does not mean that you refrain from telling the truth. I'm gonna say it again. Being a person that spreads peace and love does not mean that you refrain from telling the truth. That is bondage too. That is bondage as well. Okay, no one's life is going to transform by you not speaking on those things that's keeping people incarcerated and has intoxicated them. You have to tell them what's going to cause their spirit to detox. Okay? Love you all. Peace and blessings. Thank you for tuning in once again. All right, Vibe Tribe. Have a blessed rest of your week, and may your weekend be the same. See you on Sunday.